is Hamid, and you're watching Milwaukie Makers. I'm here on my Qualisports Volador after just hitting 5,000 miles on this folding electric bicycle. In fact, right now I'm at 5,005.7 miles. Here next to the Willamette River in Milwaukie, Oregon. Let's go for a ride. I'm on the bumpy grass. Alright, back to the trail. It's a beautiful autumn day, and the leaves have been falling, and the sun is shining. Howdy, y'all. And dinging my bell at folks. Of course, I'm going slow because it's a shared mixed-use path. I have a day off from the wellness center because there's sewer work going on in front of the wellness center, so don't want to do body work with all the noise out front, so I'm off on a Friday, and it just happens to be really, really beautiful. And a couple days ago, when I was riding home from the wellness center, I hit 5,000 miles when I was going down to the trail to Oaks Bottom. And I've had this bike since, I believe, April of 2019. It's now November of 2021. We're in the future. And this is a bike that has really changed my transportation. This bike has been great. I love how nimble it is with the 20-inch wheels and the folding capability, which has come in handy in so many situations. And I've upgraded things along the way. This bicycle is no longer stock, but hold on a second, we gotta catch this view. Oh. It's all kinds of a pretty day. So here we are in Scott Park with my Qualisports Volador electric folding bike. 5,000 miles on this here frame, though we've gone through a few upgrades along the way. The first upgrade was to the saddle. Replaced the original saddle about 100 miles in. I was coming home from the wellness center one day. I just went, my butt's sore, I need to find something different, and replaced the saddle, though this is the next saddle up, because that saddle that replaced the original, the seat rail sheared on one side, and so I replaced it with an Ergon SMC4-M comp gel saddle, and that's been quite sufficient for my bottom. The pedals have been replaced with an aluminum alloy pedal, maybe close to a couple thousand miles in. The plastic pedals broke, and so I sometimes stand up on these things pretty hard, and so those have been replaced. What are these? Mikes from Japan. They're the FD7s, and they fold thusly. Let's see, of course I had to add a bottle holder onto it because hydration is way important. And I originally got like this fancy carbon fiber bottle holder, and it totally broke with just like a little tap next to it. So here's a cheapo plastic one that serves the job just fine. What else? The tires. I had a rear tire blowout, and actually, because it's a folding bike, I caught a lift and was able to fold the bike up and stick it in the boot of the car. So I decided to upgrade to some, these are some pretty muddy, let's get some better light over here. These are Schwalbe Marathon Plus tires, and they've got some like Kevlar lining in them. They're a little bit thinner than the original tires. These are 1.75s and the originals are 1.95 diameter. But this is a much nicer tire. This has really been a great upgrade, and it added a lot of comfort. I usually keep the front and rear tires to about 55 psi. It has a 50 to 70 psi range on these tires, and even with like a load on the back, I don't think I'm getting any like pinch flaps. Of course, when I ordered it, I got the rack for it. That's been really, really great, and I use a set of these Turn wide mouth panniers, which are sized to fit a grocery bag in. So I usually have 2 of those, and they help me tote my laundry back and forth from the wellness center. Being a massage therapist, there's a lot of laundry involved. So I'm just running one of those today because it's a day off, and actually got camera gear. I'm gonna go out and take pictures of autumn, because you know, autumn's really beautiful. Let's see. Recently, I got a new chain and a new rear cassette. When I went into the truck shop in Selwood in southeast Portland, they took out the tool and measured the chain, and they're like, oh, this is so stretched out, the tool is like not even measuring how stretched out this is. And I asked him, how often do you replace a chain? Because I've never worn out a bike chain before. And he said about every 1,500 miles. And that was, I had 3 times that. I had about 4,500 miles on the chain. And he said, well, along with that, like, these get worn down, so we replaced that. And actually it's a slightly different gear set range than the stock one, because it's one they had in stock. So we just went with it. There's a granny gear, there's a grandpappy gear, so the low gear is really, really low, and that's actually kind of a benefit. If I hardly ever used first gear anyways, but if I do run out of battery power, I'll be able to get up the hills still. Let's see, another upgrade was the brakes. Had a brake cable snap, so I just decided to have a shop help me out, and we replaced the brake pads with something a little nicer. And so let's see, the most recent upgrade, when I had them replace the chain and the cassette, we also put on some Bontrager locking handles, and I didn't know what a difference that would make. The old ones I always have to sort of like grip into kind of place whenever I take a ride, but these just stay in place, and they felt really great. Of course, I'm all decked out with lights. I've got this little blinky light up front, which I run during the day or night. I want to be seen, I want to be noticed. And then I have a couple other lights back here. This little light, blinky blinky, and then this little one down here. Also, and this is the stock rear light that runs off battery power. Like all these other 3 lights are all rechargeable, which I really, really like. I don't even use this thing. I think I'm just going to take it off because it does use AA batteries, and it's just less of an expense overall getting some of these like add-on lights, and they're just like, I can take them off like really quickly when I go inside. Like this just kind of slips off, just has a rubber wrap around there. And of course, I've got some stickers. I just love Milwaukie. Here's a cat. City of Milwaukie. There are stickers everywhere. Of course, got to have prints. And Milwaukie is known for the Bing Cherry, who was invented by a Chinese fella. More stickers. And more stickers. So I continue to have just great fun on this electric folding bike. I find the 350 watt rear hub motor to be sufficient for my needs up the hill. The battery, after a couple of years, 2.5 years now, is like I'm starting to see a little bit of like less charge on it, but I never really pushed the battery power. When I go to work, there's a 7.5 mile trip to work and 7.5 miles back, so a 15-mile round trip. I charge at work, so I have a spare charger. That was one investment where I bought a spare charger from Qualisports, and so I keep one at work and one at home, and so I always like to have a full charge. Though there's been times just like recently where I forgot to charge it and made the trek to and back on one charge just fine, though I tended to use a little less pedal assist, some of the lower power settings, and just kind of took my time a little bit more. So that's my electric bike. It's held up pretty well, but you know, there's been upgrades along the way. I kind of look at it as like a cheap guitar. I'm a musician too, so like a lot of musicians will get like a cheap guitar and then like upgrade the pickups and upgrade the nuts and upgrade, you know, some things on it to like kind of make it their own. And that's what I've done with this here bicycle, is really make it my own. And so just the joy of having that little bit of assist, and sometimes a lot of bit of assist up those hills, just makes the riding easy and fun and enjoyable, and I'm not worn out by the time I get to work, and I feel good at the end of the day having moved my body. And so get yourself on an electric bike. I'm now an affiliate with Qualisports, so if you want to help out the channel and see all the goofy stuff that I'm into, both like bikes and music and healing arts and artistic creative stuff, to subscribe to my channel. And you can hit the link down below, and if you buy any Qualisports bike, from the Nemo to the Volador to the Dolphin to the Beluga, it gets a little kickback to the channel and helps us keep going and living a healthy, happy life. And I hope you are living a healthy, happy life, and get yourself on an electric bicycle. This is Hamid. Stay creative. I am out.